How does the US political system work? Welcome back to my series, The Politics Playbook, where I, Maddie the Baddie, are talking you through the basics of politics and creating a safe space for you to learn more. The US is a constitutional, federal, presidential republic, and that sounds complicated, but each word means something. Constitutional means that the government obviously must follow a constitution that was written in 1787. Federal means that the power is shared between the national governments and also local state governments. Presidential means that the president is both the head of state and the head of government. And the republic means that citizens elect representatives rather than having a monarch. The US is based on the idea that no one person should become too powerful, so their system is split into three different branches. The first branch is the executive branch, and they carry out the law, and this is run by the president. These current responsibilities include being the commander-in-chief to the military, signing or vetoing laws, running the federal government, appointing judges, conducting foreign policies, and negotiating treaties. The executive also includes the vice president, the cabinet, and all of the federal agencies. The cabinet is made up of secretaries such as Defense, State, and Treasury, and the federal agencies are things like the FBI and NASA. Next, we've got the legislative branch, and this is called Congress, and Congress is made up of two houses, one the Senate and one the House of Representatives. Senate consists of 100 senators. Each state has 2 senators, and they serve a 6-year term. That means that around 1/3 of the Senate is elected every 2 years. The Senate approves treaties, confirms Supreme Court judges, confirms cabinet appointments, and holds impeachment trials. So the next House of Congress is the House of Representatives, and this is made up of 435 voters. And the seats depend on each state's population. For example, California has 50 seats, whereas Wyoming only has 1. These representatives serve 2-year terms, and the elections are every 2 years. So every 2 years, there's a completely new set. House of Representatives can introduce spending bills, impeach any presidents or officials, and represents their local districts. And the third branch is the judicial branch, and they interpret the law, and the biggest court in the US is, of course, the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is made up of 9 justices, and they are appointed by the president, approved by the Senate, and they usually serve for life. The Supreme Court will decide whether certain laws are constitutional, they will solve disputes between states, they will deal with major civil rights cases and often election disputes as well. The decisions of the Supreme Court affect the entire country. One of the biggest ideas in the US's political system is called checks and balances, which means that every branch can limit the power of others. Example of this is the president can veto laws and also appoint judges. However, this also means that each branch individually cannot pass laws themselves, spend money without Congress, and also ignore any Supreme Court rulings. So we all know the president can serve 2 terms maximum, and each term is 4 years. This is actually solidified in the 22nd Amendment. And the president is not a member of Congress, and this is called the separation of powers. So think of Congress like a company. The Senate is one department and the House of Representatives are another department, and they both have to agree before going ahead with anything. Once both of those departments have agreed, it will then be passed on to the president.